The Post-it Notes Mystery. On April 15, 2015, a Reddit user known as r_Bradbury shared a story that read like a classic psychological thriller. He lived entirely alone, yet he woke up to find a yellow Post-it note on his desk, covered in handwriting that was definitely not his own, listing a series of mundane chores. At first, he tried to brush it off as a weird one-time occurrence, but the house started talking back. A few days later, another note appeared on the back of his chair with a cryptic instruction: save your documents. The digital detectives on the legal advice subreddit immediately went into overdrive. Was it a sophisticated ARG, a stalker, a landlord with a spare key, and a penchant for passive-aggressive reminders? Bradbury himself became convinced of the latter, suspecting his landlord was entering his home in secret. He even set up a webcam to catch the intruder in the act, but when he went to check the footage on April 20th, the files were gone, deleted. Or so he thought. The situation reached a peak of insanity when his doors were found covered in blank Post-it notes. The theories were wild. People suggested elaborate gaslighting schemes or even paranormal activity. But a user named Kurlak noticed a small, physiological detail in Bradbury's posts. He lived in a tiny bedroom with no windows. Kurlak asked one simple question: do you get bad headaches? When Bradbury admitted he did, the mystery shifted from a horror movie to a chemistry lesson. It was carbon monoxide poisoning. Carbon monoxide is the ultimate invisible killer, colorless, odorless, and capable of causing extreme confusion, memory loss, and hallucinations. Bradbury bought a detector, and it went off immediately. The intruder was himself. He was writing the notes in a poisoned, semi-conscious state and forgetting the entire event. The deleted webcam footage was actually just a software error. It wasn't a ghost or a villainous landlord. It was just a poorly ventilated room and a lethal gas that nearly turned a Reddit thread into an obituary. The I Feel Fantastic mystery. If you spent any time on early YouTube, you've seen her. Tara, the stiff, uncanny valley android with wide, unblinking eyes and a metallic voice singing a repetitive, droning tune, I Feel Fantastic. The video felt like it was beamed in from a nightmare. It appeared out of nowhere, and the lack of context allowed the internet's collective imagination to rot. The most popular theory was truly grim. People speculated that Tara had been built by a serial killer who dressed the robot in the clothes of his actual victims. The video featured a random, lingering shot of a garden, which the hive mind decided was the burial site for the bodies. When the original upload vanished, the legend only grew, fueled by re-uploads and creepypastas that framed the video as a confession of sorts. It took until 2020 for writer Yeezy Lit to finally dig up the mundane truth. Tara wasn't a vessel for a murderer's trophies. She was the $2,000 dream of an inventor named John Bergeron. Bergeron wasn't a criminal. He was an android enthusiast who had been posting on obscure forums as far back as 2001. His goal was actually quite wholesome. He wanted to mass-produce Tara as a singing android for the entertainment industry. The creepy garden was just his backyard, and the eerie music was just an attempt at a pop song from a man who understood robotics better than songwriting. The mystery was debunked, leaving behind only the realization that the uncanny valley is a very lonely place for an inventor. The Utah no Tatari mystery. In 2014, the creepy gaming subreddit was set ablaze by a discovery in an obscure Japanese horror game called Utah no Tatari. Players found that if you performed a specific ritualistic series of steps, walking through 3 traditional torii gates and waiting for a hidden timer, the game would glitch. The screen would scramble, flash white, and then display a grainy, high-contrast photo of a woman's face, partially obscured by shadows and what looked like bandages or remains. Because other underground games like Hong Kong 97 had used real photos of victims, the internet assumed the worst. This was a snuff photo, a real image of human remains hidden in the code. For nearly 10 years, reverse image searches yielded nothing. The mystery became a staple of disturbing gaming facts videos, with theorists suggesting everything from unsolved cold cases to dark web origin stories. The truth finally emerged in 2022 when a Reddit user managed to trace the image back to a 2007 Japanese horror film called Hair Extensions. The exact frame appeared in the movie's trailer, showing a woman staring into the camera. The disturbing remains were just practical movie effects, and the developer had simply lifted a frame from a horror movie to spice up his horror game. It was a decade of collective panic over a marketing asset, proving that sometimes the darkest things on the internet are just low-resolution screenshots of mediocre movies. The This Man mystery. In 2008, a website appeared with a simple, haunting sketch and a question: have you dreamed of this man? The site claimed that thousands of people across the globe who had never met or seen each other were all seeing the same nondescript face in their sleep. It went viral almost instantly. Within a year, 10,000 people had written in with their own testimonials, describing the man as a father figure, a guide, or a silent observer in their subconscious. The internet loved the supernatural implications. Was it a collective Jungian archetype, a god, a telepathic intruder? Posters of this man began appearing in major cities, turning a digital mystery into a physical phenomenon. Forums like 4chan, usually the birthplace of chaos, were actually the ones to crack this one. A reverse IP lookup of the website revealed it was registered to a guerrilla marketing company. In 2010, Italian marketer Andrea Natella admitted the whole thing was a stunt. The drawing was actually based on his father, and the original testimonials were complete fabrications designed to spark a viral reaction. Interestingly, many of the people who emailed the site later weren't necessarily lying. The human mind is highly suggestible. Once they saw the face and heard the phenomenon, their brains likely manufactured the image in their dreams. It was a masterpiece of psychological manipulation that proved you can create a haunting if you just give people a common face to fear. The Lily Peters clue. Not every internet mystery ends with a harmless marketing reveal or a carbon monoxide leak. Some end in the grim reality of a police station. In April 2022, 10-year-old Lily Peters went missing after visiting her aunt in Wisconsin. Her bike was found abandoned, and the next morning, her body was discovered under a pile of leaves. The local police had no leads, and the community was paralyzed with fear. While the true crime subreddits began their usual cycle of speculation, a comment appeared from a user named HomesliceNation4. The user claimed they had been playing Pokémon Go on the same trail that day and saw Lily walking with another child. The comment ended with a chillingly specific sentence: "I have a suspicion that it could be another kid that did it." The post was quickly deleted, but the internet doesn't forget. Another Reddit user, acting as a digital detective, reported the comment to the police tip line. That single lead changed everything. Within hours, police arrested Lily's 14-year-old cousin, Carson Petersberger. During questioning, he admitted to luring her into the woods, attacking her, and later returning to hide the body deeper under the leaves. It was a premeditated attack that had been in the works for months. In this case, the mystery was solved by someone who happened to be looking at a screen for digital monsters while a real one was walking right past them. The internet is a double-edged sword. It's a place where we can invent ghosts like this man, but it's also a place where a random comment on a forum can lead to a murder conviction. We spend our lives digging through these rabbit holes, searching for a truth that is usually far more human and often far more tragic than the theories we concoct in the dark. Sometimes the light at the end of the tunnel is just a flashlight, and sometimes it's a carbon monoxide alarm, but the search for the answer is what keeps us logged in. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the web's most notorious closed cases, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Drop a comment below about which lost media or internet mystery you're still waiting to see solved. Until next time, stay curious and maybe check your batteries in your carbon monoxide detector.